Good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Christy Ruppe. You are all here this morning for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested for. As you stand before me this morning, you are considered not guilty of what you've been charged with, and that status will remain with you through each stage of these proceedings up until changed by you if you plead out to your case or the state attorney's office if they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you were arrested on a warrant or a new charge. Either way, there's a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine this morning whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pretrial release which will be imposed upon you. You are entitled to have an attorney represent you at each stage of these proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, I will appoint the Public Defender's Office for you this morning. You have a right to have a phone call to let friends, family, or counsel know where you are. If you haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, please let me know. I'll make sure that happens this morning. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be held against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. As I call your name, I'm going to ask you to come forward to the podium, but before that, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand and so I can place you under oath. Solemnly swear from testimony before the court this morning will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay, go ahead and put your hands down. Attorney Brandon, who did you have?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Court, please, I have Stephen Roundtree.
Mr. Roundtree? From what I understand,
Good morning.
Good morning. What is your date of birth, sir?
9/8/92.
Alrighty. He was arrested over the weekend. The weekend judge did not give him a bond in which he's entitled to a bond, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What's the state's position? Does he have a prior record, or?
Yes, Your Honor. His prior record is, I believe, an adjudication of resisting without violence and possession of paraphernalia in 2017, also a driving license suspended in 2017, and a withhold for resisting without violence, possession of cannabis in 2016, adjudication for reckless driving in 2015, and another driving license suspended adjudication in 2012.
Okay. How long has your client lived in the area? And give me some information.
If the court please, he is lifetime in the county. He is full-time employed. He's a tech right now at Evergreen Woods. He is pursuing studies for nursing at ATA, Spring Hill. In fact, he is actively pursuing that, completed an internship through Summit Imaging, and is supposed to be taking his boards in the process of obtaining his nursing license this week. He missed the boards which were set for Tuesday, but he's a lifelong resident. It's looking at the PC affidavit from this weekend. There was apparently an attempt to serve a restraining order. It's not clear if the restraining order was ever served or not, but it is here for violation of a restraining order, which may or may not actually have been served. I think that probably the better choice would have been resisting or opposing an officer in the performance of his duty. The PC affidavit also reflects some remarks that were made by Mr. Roundtree out of frustration and anger at the time that he interacted with the deputy. He has advised me, as has his mother, in extensive conversation with her, that he sincerely regrets the comments that he made. They were intemperate. And that certainly, in the event of the restraining order, which is set for 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, I believe it may be voluntarily dismissed, but it is set for 2:30 tomorrow afternoon in Judge Einemann's division, that in the event that the restraining order is carried through and is entered and permanent, Mr. Roundtree will assure the court that he's certainly well respected and will respectfully ask the court to grant him a reasonable bail and to allow him to continue with his employment and with his studies toward his nursing license.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll set the bond at $1,000. I am going to order no contact with the victim in this case, though. I don't have the victim's name, so I have to make sure that makes the record. State, do you have it?
I don't have the petitioner's name, Your Honor. I do have the case number that I think it's involved in.
Okay.
Judge, I've got the name. I don't have it with me in court this morning. The case number is 2018 DR 589, and it's set for 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. Just ask the court that ask this court to defer to the restraining order court if that is voluntarily dismissed, would the court require us to come back here here for another motion hearing as to changing no contact.
Yes, but right now I'm going to order no contact because I'm going to do the bond of $1,000 against Charlene Jones. So there's no contact with Charlene Jones. Thank you, Jay. Because I would do that in a senior case like this anyway.
Yes, sir.
So if they want to come back for a modification of that, then they'll be willing to hear that, or perhaps the state will have an agreement with regard to that later.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. The court, please, that concludes my business.
Have a good day.
And I appreciate the court allowing us to hear this morning.
Yes, sir. Carrie Garrett. Ms. Garrett, can I have your date of birth?
4978.
Okay, you are here today charged with domestic battery. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender, please.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State the shooting prior record.
Yes, Your Honor. In 2016, there's a drop to domestic violence aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. In 2010, there's an adjudication for possession of meth, and in 2011, there's an adjudication for DUI.
Okay. Ms. Garrett, I have an address for you on B.W. Stevenson Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
A year.
Okay, do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a bartender.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim, Glenn Higginbotham, in this case, okay? Do not have any contact with him whatsoever. Do not call, do not write, do not email. Do not have anyone else call, write, or email. If you see him out somewhere, you should turn around and go the other way. And if he calls you, you should hang up the phone. If you have any contact with Glenn while this case is pending, you could be charged with another crime and held without bond. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case Glenn wants to file an injunction against you. If he does file that injunction against you, read it very carefully. To be very specific as to how many feet you need to stay away from him, his home, his vehicle, or anywhere else where he may frequent. I'm going to see you back to court on this case on April 18th at 9 a.m., okay?
Thank you.
Sabrina LaRose. Ms. LaRose, can I have your date of birth?
5882.
You were here this morning for possession of controlled substance and possession of marijuana. There's probable cause for your arrest on each of these. Do you want to represent yourself? Are you going to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State the shooting prior record.
Yes, Your Honor. In 2017, I see a failure to appear. I don't have a disposition on that. There's also a guilty for felony petty theft. 2011, there's a guilty for grand theft. 2006, I see another grand theft adjudication. And in 2003, I see another FTA.
Ms. LaRose, I have an address for you on Ruth Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
About 6 months.
Okay. How long have you lived in Hernando County?
All my life.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Not at the moment.
Okay. I'm going to keep your bonds the same at $2,000 and $1,000, and we're going to see you back to court on April 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Yes.
Jasmine Roldan. Ms. Roldan, can I have your date of birth?
4/11/1994.
You were here this morning for a domestic battery. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Are you going to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office, and that's actually 3 counts of domestic battery. State the shooter prior record.
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Roldan, I have an address for you on Lockwood Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
No.
Okay, where do you live?
It's 11702 7th Lane North, St. Petersburg, Florida.
How long have you lived there?
I just moved from, well, the 716 address is where it happened. That's my dad's address, and I'm moving back to my mom's. And I've been there a year. And I've been to my dad's 3 days.
Okay, you lived in St. Pete for a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, well, no, my whole life. My whole life.
You lived your whole life in St. Pete. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do you have a job?
I'm currently a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. All right, that address in St. Pete, do Samuel, Jocelyn, or Laurel live there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 on each case. It's a total of $3,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Jocelyn, Laurel, and Samuel Rodin Do not have any contact with any of them whatsoever. Do not call, do not write, do not email, do not have anyone else call, write, or email. If you have any contact with any of them while this case is pending, then you could be charged with other crimes and held without bond. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, that means no contact even if they try to contact you. If they call you, you shouldn't pick up the phone. If you realize it's them, you should hang up. If you see any of them out somewhere, you should turn around and go the other way. I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case any of them want to file an injunction against you. If they do file that injunction against you, you'll be served with that paperwork in court. You want to read it very carefully in jail. You want to read it very carefully. It'll be very specific as to how many feet you need to stay away from any of them, their homes, their cars, or anywhere else where they may frequent. We're going to see you back to court on these cases on April 18th at 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
Casey Stoltz.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Can I have your date of birth?
7/10/1986.
Okay, you were here this morning for a failure to appear on a defrauding a pawnbroker and dealing in stolen property in front of Judge Mira on February 9th. There is probable cause for your arrest. He wants you held no bond on that right now. So we're going to hold you no bond, but I'm going to move your court date to April 3rd
Yes,
in
ma'am.
front of Judge Mira, and we'll see you back to court on April 3rd, okay? Do you have the public defender already appointed in these cases?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Barbara Jo Bell.
All right, perfect. All right, thank you. Summer Woodall. Good morning. Can I have your date of birth?
9/9/83.
Okay. Looks like you have a failure to appear out of Pasco County. The bond amount is $1,013. You can pay that bond amount and then go over to Pasco County, find out when your court date is. If you're unable to pay that bond amount, the Pasco County will come pick you up within the next 5 days. When you get over there, you can ask for a court date and a public defender. If they don't come pick you up within the next 5 days, then the folks there at the jail will bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what the holdup is, okay?
Can I address you?
Sure.
I'm already sentenced over here, so they're going to pick me up in a day and then push me back over there and bring me back in, like certain.
Within the next 5 days. If you have no other cases here, then Pasco County will come get you within the next 5 days.
Okay. Thank
Okay?
you.
All right. James Allen? Good morning. Can I have your date of birth?
7195.
Okay, you were here this morning for a felony domestic battery by strangulation and a domestic battery. There's no bond on each of those right now. There's probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Park Finn.
I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State to super prior records.
No, Your Honor.
Sir, I have an address for you on Northwest 31st Ave in Gainesville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long have you lived there?
2 years.
Do you have a job?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you in school?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Said yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to set the bond on count number 1 at $2,000, the bond account number 2 at $1,000. I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock in case Brianna Waters wants to file an injunction against you. If she does file that injunction against you, I want to read it very carefully. It'll be very specific as to how many feet you need to stay away from her, her home, her car, or anywhere else where she may frequent. I'm going to order that you have no contact with her whatsoever. That means do not call, do not write, do not email, do not have anyone else call, write, or email on your behalf. If you see her out somewhere, you should turn around and go the other way, and if she tries to call you, you should hang up the phone. If you have any contact with her whatsoever while this case is pending, you will be charged with another crime, and you will be held without bond until you resolve your cases. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to see you back to court on these cases on April 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Brandon Fithian? Can I have your date of birth?
12488.
Okay, you were here this morning for a burglary and a grand theft. The bonds are currently $5,000 and $2,000. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Other than the other pending charges, is there any other prior records?
One moment, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, he had a guilty for possession of paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, grand theft, burglary, 2007, and guilty for grand theft, armed burglary in 2006, and guilty for criminal mischief and grand theft another burglary in 2006.
Okay. Mr. Fithian, I have an address for you on Croton Street in Zephyr Hills. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
2012.
Do you have a job?
I have 2.
What kind of work do you do?
Wendy's and Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, I'm going to set your bond on count number 1 at $10,000. Count number 2 is $4,000. I'm going to get you back in front of Judge Toner for April 13th at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, see you then. Daniel Gonzalez?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Can I have your date of birth?
2/17/86.
You are here today for possession of paraphernalia. There is probable cause for your arrest. Is he required record?
Yes, Your Honor, he has 2 felony convictions and 4 misdemeanor convictions. I see in 2017 there was an adjudication for welfare fraud. I also saw some FTAs, one in 2017, another one in 2016, one in 2014, and one in 2013. I don't have dispositions on those.
Okay. If you wanted to result today, is 10 days sound?
Ma'am.
10 days, yes, Your Honor.
If you want to resolve your case today, they'll be okay with 10 days for Hernando County Jail. You'll get credit for the 2 days that you have in, and you can be finished with this case. You'll just have some fines and court costs you have to pay. If you don't want to do that, then we'll address the bond issue. We'll see you back to court another day. What would you like to do?
10 days, ma'am.
Okay. You understand by taking a plea on this case today that you're giving up a right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up a right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your own behalf, and you're giving up a right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to this possession of paraphernalia, how do you plead? Complete no contest.
Guilty.
I'll accept your plea of guilty. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. I adjudicate you guilty, send you to 10 days for Hernando County Jail, give you credit for the 2 days that you have in. You'll have fines and court costs in the amount of $518, and the cost of incarceration assessed against you, and to make payment arrangements for those when you do get out of jail, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Kenneth Harbaugh.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can I have your date of birth?
10/9/93.
You were here this morning for a couple failure to appears.
Yes,
the
ma'am.
first one is
But
on let me finish. The first one is on a driving unsuspended in front of me on February 7th. And the bond on that is $1,000. We could probably take care of that case today, but the second one is a failure to appear in front of Judge Merritt. And he has indicated that he wants you to have no bond on that because you failed to appear while there was notice of a new arrest and request for recommitment regarding another case. So my question to you is, do you want to take care of the misdemeanor case today?
Well, I was incarcerated in Pasco for both of the...
You're not answering my question. You have a misdemeanor case here of driving on a suspended driver's license. Do you want to take care of that case today? I will go ahead and give you time served.
Yes.
You understand by taking care of this case today, you're giving up the right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up the right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your own behalf, and you're giving up the right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to this driving on a suspended driver's license, how do you plead? Complete no contest.
Guilty.
Accept your plea of guilty. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty. Sends you to 2 days for Hernando County Jail. Give you credit for the 2 days that you have in. You'll have fines and court costs in the amount of $438 that you need to pay when you do get out of custody. That clears up that case. Second case you have here is an FTA in front of Judge Merritt. That is, he wants you held no bond on that. There's probable cause for your arrest. We're going to keep you held no bond on that at this time, but I'm going to move up your court date to April 3rd so you can get that addressed next week, okay? Do you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll appoint the public defender. We'll see you back to court next week. Yes.
4-3,
Yes. Blake Hartmeyer. Blake Hartmeyer.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Can I have your date of birth?
July 25th, 1997.
Okay, you were here this morning for possession of marijuana and 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. I did find probable cause for your arrest on each of these. Did you want to represent yourself? You want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State prior records.
No.
Okay. I have an address for you, Mr. Hartmeyer, on Jade Ave in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
18 years.
Do you have a job?
Yeah, deckhand at a shrimp boat.
Okay. All right. Count number 1, we'll keep it 1,000. Count number 2, 250. Count number 3, 250. And we'll see you back to court on April 18th at 9 a.m., okay?
Okay.
Dustin Hewitt.
125.75.
Thank you. You are here today for a violation of probation. 2 of them, there is probable cause for your arrest. Those are out of Volusia County. Volusia wants you held no bond until they can come get you. We're going to keep you held no bond. When they'll come get you within the next 5 days. If for some reason they don't come get you within the next 5 days, the folks there at the jail will bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what the holdup is, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thrill Hill. Can I have your date of birth?
Good
Morning.
12/08/85.
Thank you. All right, you were here this morning for driving on a suspended driver's license. You failed to appear on March 21st, just last week, in front of Judge Hitzman. Do you want to take care of this case today?
Yeah, go ahead and take care of it.
I don't have a driving record. State, do you know anything about a suspended record?
No, Your Honor, but my notes suggest that a time served disposition is appropriate.
Okay. All right, if you want to take care of it today, they'll go ahead and give you a time served disposition. You want to go ahead and do that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You understand by taking a plea on this case today that you're giving up a right to go to trial?
Yes.
You're giving up a right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up a right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with regard to this driving on suspended driver's license, how do you plead? You can plead no contest.
Guilty on it.
Okay, I'll accept your plea of guilty. I'll find it was freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty, send you to 2 days Hernando County Jail, 2 days credit for time served. You'll have fines and court costs amount of $438 and the cost of your incarceration assessed against you. You're going to make your way down to the clerk of court when you get out and make payment arrangements for all of those things, okay?
All right.
All right. Roger Muma.
Morning, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Muma. Can I have your date of birth?
10/17/1960.
Okay. You were here this morning for a violation of probation on a driving on suspended driver's license. It's based on a warrant signed by Judge Hitzman on March 15th, so I did find probable cause for your arrest. If you want to take care of this case today, it looks like the recommendation from probation is 30 days, and we'll give you credit for any time that you have in. You want to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, Your Honor, yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yep.
Judge, he does have an additional 5 days in Pasco before he was transported.
Okay, so he's got 7 altogether. All right. Do you understand that by admitting that you violated your probation, you're giving up right to have a hearing on the matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up right to confront witnesses at that hearing, call witnesses on your own behalf, and you're giving up right to have the state prove that you violated your probation. You're going to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes, no, yeah, Miss, I plead no contest.
Okay. I accept your admission. I find it's
Oh, yeah.
freely and voluntarily entered. I adjudicate you guilty, revoke and terminate your probation. Sentence you to 30 days Hernando County Jail. Give you credit for the 7 days that you have in. You'll have a $50 cost of prosecution in that case, and we'll do cost of incarceration for 25 days only because you did 5 days in Pasco. That should clear it up, okay?
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Fred Norwood.
Good morning. 12174.
Thank you. You are here today for a violation of probation out of, where is it, Collier County. They want you to have no bond
Yes,
on
ma'am.
that until they come and get you, okay? So it could take up to 5 days. Once you get over there, you can ask for an attorney and a court date. If they don't come get you within the next 5 days, then the folks at the jail will bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what's going on, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right. Timothy Parsley. Hi, Mr. Parsley, can I have your date of birth?
1381.
All right, you are here this morning for an obstruction of a highway. This is a time served.
Based on the nature of the charge, Your Honor.
Right, okay. All right. You want to go ahead and take care of your case today? We'll give you a time served disposition, and you'll get out of jail today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand by taking a plea on this case, you're giving up your right to go to trial?
Yes,
Giving
ma'am.
up your right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with regard to this obstruction of a highway charge, how do you plead? You can plead no contest.
Guilty.
I accept your plea of guilty. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty, send you to 2 days for Nana County Jail. Give you credit for the 2 days that you have in. You'll have fines and court costs. Is that 503, Jim?
Yes, sir.
And the amount of $503 that will be assessed against you, and you want to make your way down to the clerk of court at some point and make payment arrangements for that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. Sorry? Yes. Justin Ramsey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I have your date of birth?
10-5-92.
Alright. You were here for a violation of probation out of Hillsborough County.
Yes.
They want you to have no bond on that at this time, so we're going to hold you no bond. They're going to come get you probably within the next 5 days. When you get down there, you would ask for a court date and an attorney, if you want one. If they don't come
Yes.
get you within the next 5 days, then the folks there at the jail will bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what the holdup is, okay?
Okay.
All right. Kyle Schweiderman. Schweiderman?
726.95.
All right. And what is your name?
Kyle Schwarterman.
All right. You're here today for possession of methamphetamine. The bond is currently $5,000. Possession of drug paraphernalia. The bond is currently $1,000. Providing false claims to law enforcement. The bond is currently $1,000. And what is that one? Oh, the driver's license issue. That's currently $500. So there's probable cause on your arrest on each of these. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
I'm private attorney.
Okay, who are you going to hire? Do you know who you're going to hire?
No.
Okay. State and super prior record?
Yes, Your Honor. In 2015, he was adjudicated guilty for defrauding a pawnbroker. There's also a failure to appear. 2014, there was also another failure to appear. And possession of paraphernalia adjudication in 2013.
Sir, I have an address here on Oliver Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
About 5 months.
Okay, how long have you lived in Hernando County?
21 years.
Do you have a job?
Part-time.
What kind of work do you do?
Tree care.
Okay. All right, possession of methamphetamine, I'm going to keep that bond at $5,000. Possession of drug paraphernalia is going to stay at $1,000. Providing false names to law enforcement is going to stay at $1,000. And then the violation 322 is going to be $500. And we're going to see you back to court on all of these cases on April 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Eric Snyder.
Morning.
Good morning, can I have your date of birth?
9/28/85.
You are here today for a failure to appear in front of Judge Schiffman for a drive and suspended driver's license on March 6th. Do you want to see about taking care of that case today?
Yeah, I was at that court date though, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, well, you haven't resolved your case yet. Do you want to take care of your case today?
Sure.
If it's a time served, as far as you know? I don't have a driving record on this one either.
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, you want to take care of it today? It'll just be time served for the 2 days that you have in the jail, okay?
Okay.
Do you understand that by taking that plea, you're giving up your right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up your right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your own behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with regard to this driving and suspended driver's license, how do you plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty, send you to 2 days for Nana County Jail, give you credit for the 2 days that you have in. You'll have fines and court costs in the amount of $438 and the cost of your incarceration assessed against you. When you do get out, you'll want to make your way down to the clerk of court and make payment arrangements for all of those things, okay?
All right, thank you.
Jonathan Toombs?
August 20th, 1996.
Okay. You are here today for a burglary of a dwelling. The bond is currently $15,000. Grand theft bond is $2,000. Burglary of commercial unit, $1,000. Burglary of conveyance is $5,000. Grand theft, $2,000, and criminal mischief, $5,000. There is probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? You're going to hire somebody. You want the public defender's office.
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender in all your cases. State to see your prior record.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, I have an address for you on Highway 41 in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
15 years.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
Tree work.
For the burglary of the dwelling, I'll set that at $5,000. Grand theft, I'll set that at $1,000. Those cases are set for April 23rd at 8:30. And then we have oh wait, what is the bond amount on the burglary commercial? What are you guys showing on that?
I show 100,000.
Okay. I need to get out my glasses. Alright, so that one I'm going to set the bond at $10,000. Burglary of conveyance, I'm going to set that at $5,000. Grand theft, $2,000. And then the criminal mischief is going to be $1,000. So it's $18,000 on one case and $6,000 on the other. And we're going to see you back to court on all these cases on April 23rd, okay? If you're unable to bond out, someone from the public defender's office will be out to see you shortly.
Thank you.
Zachary Bowles. Can I have your date of birth, please?
6/30/93, ma'am.
All right, you were here today for a possession of a firearm by a felon and a possession of a altered firearm. Okay, there's probable cause for your arrest on both of these. Did you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender's office, ma'am.
You want the public defender's office to represent you? Obviously, there's a prior felony. Anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. There was, in 2011, he was convicted for sale of cannabis, sale of cocaine. There was an FTA. There's also conviction for burglary of a structure, possession of cocaine, and possession of a place. In 2010, there was adjudication for failing to elude, no valid battery, criminal mischief, resisting without, and evidence tampering. I'll note that he was released from prison on March 23rd, 2018, so 5 days ago, or something to that effect.
Wow. I'm going to set your bond account 1 at $20,000. Count 2 is $5,000. We'll see you back to court on April 23rd, okay? Are there some add-ons?
Ms.
Sarah
Fury,
Furry?
Judge, Ms. Fury is approaching at 17 MM 3584. The charges on it's a violation on a misdemeanor cannabis and driving on suspended. The recommendation is 20 days. She was arrested down in Pasco on 3/18, so she has 11 days now. She did have a prior withhold on that cannabis.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to speak to her about that?
No, I spoke with her mother yesterday.
Okay. Ms. Furry, You heard your attorney. You're here for a violation of probation on possession of marijuana and a driving a suspended driver's license. If you want to resolve your case today, they'll give you 20 days. Hernando County Jail will give you credit for the 11 days that you have in. Unfortunately, though, that brings the possession of marijuana as an adjudication and is going to cause your driver's license to be suspended by the Department of Motor Vehicles. In order to get a valid driver's license back, you need to go contact them and figure out what you need to do. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You want to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that by admitting that you violated your probation, you're giving up right to have a hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up right to confront witnesses at that hearing, call witnesses on your behalf, and giving up right to have the state prove that you violated your probation. You want to give up all those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with regard to the violation of probation on 2017 MM3584, do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your admission. I find this freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty, revoke and terminate your probation, sentence you to 20 days in Hernando County Jail, give you credit for the 11 days that you have in. We're going to do cost of incarceration then for just 10 days. And you're going to have $50 cost of prosecution and the public defender fee on that case, okay? And that should clear it up. Did I get everyone at the jail?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Gentlemen,